speed. 14, take 4, Mark. 14 beta, take 2, soft 6, Mark. Gator, take 1, Mark.
Alright, cut. Is everybody okay?
Yeah. Good.
If you're the kind of person that likes to watch a lot of behind the scenes on how films are made, or if you're the kind of person that likes to have a side hustle, or if you're just a creative or an artist, then this film's probably for you. One of the big pieces of advice you get in school, and it's kind of a cliche now, is the advice, write what you know. As a person that loves mystery films, loves film noir, loves detective films, loves horror films, the advice, write what you know, always had a hard time clicking in my brain because I didn't know anything about those things. I've never been a detective and I've never been a murderer as far as you know. So that's kind of where the idea of writer's block came from, is like, what if you took that to the most literal conclusion?
It's a sci-fi crime drama, okay? Sick.
So I wrote writer's block back in 2017. I started hanging out with a producer named Sean Beck. This time I got brave enough to share the script with him, and his response was, this is something that needs to be made. We got Juli Emmons to join us. She helped us with casting. One thing I really wanted to make sure is that we found the perfect people to play these characters who not only would honor what was in the script, but maybe bring something else to the role to help flesh out these characters and bring them to life.
It's a screenwriting podcast.
Like movies and shit? You're a movie director?
Aspiring.
You know, what I loved about Dre is that he didn't make Will a nerd. He played him in a way where I thought people could insert themselves into his shoes very easily. He was going to be encountering a lot of things and doing a lot of silly things, and it needed to be believable.
Okay, cool. So when you hit him, kind of hit him from this way, so that way you can like take the gun that direction.
Spoilers, the scene I'm looking forward to the most probably is when I have to smother Guy. When Will is like, okay, he's finally decided he's going to try to kill the guy in his grandparents' cabin.
What are you doing?
How quickly the situation turns on its head and Will loses the power in the situation. I think it's going to be incredibly dynamic, incredibly fun to do.
I got an idea for a movie, and I think you'll like it. Okay, now it's a sci-fi crime drama.
What was great about James is that he really made Guy his own character. You know, the way Guy was written originally in the script was more like this hippie character, but he brought in this element that was more of a Big Lebowski, the dude type. And while, you know, this character's saying these things, doing these things, it's not coming across as him being a jerk. It's coming across, you know, just him being lovably ignorant.
Dude, you own Shawshank Redemption?
Yeah.
Oh, that movie's so bad.
That's awesome, man. I mean, have you made anything that I would like have seen or anything?
So we spent 3 days in Brevard, North Carolina. My in-laws have a cabin up there. We were lucky enough to be able to shoot there and stay there. With the cinematography, I really wanted it to feel as natural as possible. I didn't want to play into any cinematic gimmicks. I didn't want a film with lots of flares or in a 2:40 ratio or any crazy bokehs or anything like that. I love all those things. I didn't want to fall into the trap of some of the things that we were poking fun at. I wanted the film to look as natural as possible. I wanted it to lean a little darker to kind of play into the thriller aspects of it. I wanted to have fall colors. I really wanted to play that up. It was important that we filmed in October.
Camera's rolling. All right, and action.
Jake Colletta ended up DPing this film for us, and he really knocked all those things out of the park. He listened and he was just on board for anything that I threw at him. He also was able to bring in an excellent team around him that knew the craft, knew how to tell the story with the lighting and grip and the things that we needed for this film.
So one of the main cinematography challenges was this day for night scene.
The big challenge was there was a large glass sliding door with tons of light just pouring through it. And there was no other time to film it. We had to do it in the day. It was really cool to watch Jake and TJ set up all the rigging and everything that was necessary, and they just were able to create this amazing look, like it was moonlight coming through the windows that we're seeing, and they were able to black off the large door. To be honest, it's probably one of my favorite looking scenes in this film. The way that it is lit is just really spectacular, and I really thought they nailed it out of the park. You might recognize this stunt from earlier. No! Just what's funny and what Guy and James didn't tell me, of course, is that, they both have knee injuries, and Dre's like supposed to go have knee surgery like literally the week after we're done filming. We tried to make sure it was safe as possible. We wanted the actors to feel comfortable doing this stunt. If not, we're going to find another way to do it. But they were comfortable and were willing to go at it. And so we blew up an air mattress for them to land on.
Now I'm blowing up an air mattress quickly, speedy on set, for some stunts we're gonna do tonight for the night shoot. Going really slowly. Look at that. Hi, Colin. What are you up to?
I've been tricked.
But look at your progress.
I know.
So what just happened?
I finished.
We never thought this day would come.
We are just beating James up a little bit. Wound from a typewriter, a vintage typewriter, and just kind of bruising him up a little bit.
Funny thing is, we have this part where the chair's supposed to have collided off. So we just took off the arms, and they kind of made these little claw things. And it's just like, I love accidents like that, because that wasn't planned. We were originally just gonna like destroy the chair, but once we just saw those little claw arm things come off of him, it was like, okay, that's all we need to do, because if he's trying to fight back with him like some kind of weird T-Rex thing, that's just gonna be even funnier. Once we finished that week in Brevard, we shot for 2 more days in Mount Pleasant. For the first spot we went to was Pleasant Memory Sweets and Treats, which is an ice cream shop in the middle of Mount Pleasant. Originally there was only going to be one shot at this ice cream shop, and that was just Will eating ice cream. The rest of the scene was supposed to take place in a car, but just due to logistical reasons, we needed to film that scene there. What we ended up doing is I blocked them back to back. No matter how much he tried to ignore it, no matter how much he put his back literally to him, Guy was gonna come in and do what he was gonna do, regardless of what Will wanted. What I love about directing a film is finding those lightning in a bottle moments. And the table in the ice cream scene was very wobbly. Guy goes and sits down and moves it around, the ice cream tips over. As Will's trying to straighten it up and Guy goes in and it falls over again. The ice cream was a great, hilarious way to illustrate that. That was totally by accident. You can't make that stuff up. It was just such a great way to introduce how the relationship was going to work. Guy was a demanding force that kind of was taking over Will's life, whether he wanted it to or not. The last location we ended up going to was Southern Grace Distilleries. We needed a jail scene. It was the hardest location to find. It was a prison not that long ago, so it still felt pretty modern and fit what needed to happen in that scene. I was able to work with Patrick, who is an actor in the Charlotte area. He actually helped Juli find Dre and had auditioned him, I guess. Southern Grace Distilleries was so nice and so great. They provided a bottle of Conviction, which made a cameo in the film, actually. They provided a bottle of Conviction, so we drank a bottle of that they gave us on set. I think as artists and filmmakers, we can sometimes take ourselves way too seriously. I wanted a film that kind of built bridges to each other and maybe give us a chance to kind of laugh at ourselves in this crazy pursuit that we call filmmaking. We really had an all-star crew, whether that was camera, sound, MHU, casting, acting, producing, and all the post-production, filmmaking community in general. Everyone seems to be really generous with the amount of time and the things that they're willing to give to a passion project, which that's what makes filmmaking as fun as it can be. If you haven't already, please go to filmwritersblock.com and sign up for our email list. That is the best way to stay connected with not only this film, but all the films that I'm making. It was a pleasure making this film. It was a pleasure talking to you. And thank you for watching the making of Writer's Block. And remember, make movies or die.
Again.